Hello, YouTube. And today I'm back with Oakelfish. So, thank you for coming on today, Oakley.
Absolutely, my pleasure. My pleasure. Very excited to get this underway.
I, I'm happy to have you on, mate. Now, a lot of my audience probably won't know exactly who you are. So can you just explain to the audience exactly what you do?
Absolutely, yeah. So, hello everyone. My name's Oakley. I'm also a YouTuber. I make FIFA content, though predominantly FIFA and football content, and upload it onto the internet. With that being said, I'm not the best FIFA content creator. I'm not the best at playing the game. I'm sure Anthony will let you know about that down the line. But yeah, I still enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, I think that's what it's about with YouTube, having fun.
I would, I would definitely agree with that. So what made you want to go into FIFA direction? Because when you first started, you did a bit of everything.
I
For
did. I did, yeah, I did. I think there's probably an argument out there to be made that I've probably picked or ended up on the one that that perhaps I'm not the best at naturally. But yeah, so no, yeah, you're right. I did start doing a little bit of everything. Started doing a lot of. I started off doing mostly like vlogs and challenges, and also some Call of Duty. Call of Duty was actually the first thing I started doing. And out of the games that I play, it's probably the game that I'm the best at. Without blowing my own trumpet. I mean, comparing it to FIFA, I'm basically a pro. I'm basically a pro player. So yeah, we did. So I started doing some Call of Duty. Obviously, the way YouTube's been going in recent years, I kind of saw that the challenges and those sort of things, they weren't really adhering. And even looking back on it myself, I don't regret doing those videos. I really love doing them. They're a lot of fun. A lot of people love watching them. It's just that they're not really, how do I say? They're probably not the sort of stuff that you'd want to. They're not brandable. They're not the sort of videos that YouTube want to see on the platform. So I kind of drifted away a little bit from that and focused more on the gaming stuff. Yeah, just kind of got into FIFA. I'd made like a lot of friends in the FIFA community. I was getting along well with them, and collaborations started to become more of the normal thing to do. And I had more friends that were playing FIFA than I did that were playing Call of Duty. So it just seemed like a natural transition into a different game.
and I would say things like challenges, uh, things like challenges don't really last the test of time. And even though FIFA's sort of like a dead game, people can still go back and watch certain videos and get some enjoyment out of it, out of them. And I don't think that is the case with the challenge videos.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The thing is, with the challenge videos, I mean, there's only so many times that you can do certain things. There's only so many times that you can make yourself effectively feel very unwell. People do find it funny, but like you just said, like people can go back and watch kind of the hallmark challenges. Like you used to have like the milk challenge or the chili challenge. I did all sorts, like eating a raw onion, like everything. There's just so many back there. That people can go back and enjoy at their pleasure or at their leisure, whenever they fancy. Like you said, FIFA's kind of it's a weird game, FIFA, because people generally do think that it's kind of on a decline. However, more and more people keep buying it each year. So it's actually growing as a game. Just people, I think as more and more people get into a game, there's more and more critics of a game. If we're being honest, like FIFA's been the top football game for, I don't know, as long as I can remember. I mean, I can kind of remember Pro Evo being there, but FIFA's kind of like getting there, building up more and more steam. It's just that there's more and more complaints that come with that. Yeah, you can't please everyone. That's just something that I think you'll find in most things in life, really. But I think they try their best, but they could do better, of course. But I mean, I can't be too critical of them, because I mean, effectively, that's how I make my living, right? So.
Do you think sometimes, unless you play Ultimate Team, the game isn't very enjoyable? Like, it's very Ultimate Team centric, if you know what I mean.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And that was actually, yeah, my answer to that previously was definitely more. It was kind of from a selfish perspective, I guess, because I only really play Ultimate Team. It's what all my YouTube videos are based off of,
Yeah,
predominantly the packs and stuff.
yeah,
My friends will buy the game and not spend a penny on it. They won't go near Ultimate Team. So yeah, that's very true. But they love playing, the kickoff game modes, the career mode, etc., etc. For me, I agree with you. It does get boring quite quickly. And EA definitely have catered far more to the Ultimate Team franchise because it's where they make their money. And yeah, there's a lot of arguments we made. A lot of people ask for, like clubs, for example, to have more
yeah.
development, etc., etc.
I some some uh, somebody said this the other day to me, and I sort of agree. Yeah, like it's very much a menu game. Like if you look at what people enjoy the most, they don't actually enjoy like the games. Like they enjoy like the opening packs and things like that.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, listen, you're preaching to the choir on that one. That's me to a nutshell. I mean, obviously, I play the game for videos. But my enjoyment comes out of, crafting up SBCs, opening up packs. And a question you get asked a lot is people saying, Oakley, the wrong side of 25, how can you enjoy so much, like, packing a player on a game? But it's true, you do. You just really enjoy packing like some of the best players. You enjoy the little wins, like when I'm recording some of my Guess Who or my Rock Paper Stat. It's fun. It's just a fun way to enjoy the game. And if that's where you get your enjoyment from it, I don't see the problem with it.
No problem with that at all, because as long as you can find some enjoyment out of it, that's all that matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But 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 when you're making content, you ever think I'm a bit I'm a bit bored of playing this. Like obviously, do what I do. It allows me to talk about whatever I want, pretty much. But obviously, with your content, it's a very much a FIFA orientated audience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The thing is, I would say that if I ever, the answer is no. I mean, I enjoy what I do, although it's the same template, if you like. All of my videos are the same series,
Yeah,
if you like, etc., etc. But each episode's different because of the randomness of the packs. You don't know what you're going to get. I mean, in one of my recent episodes, we both packed the same player, so it's an interesting dynamic. Neither of us wanted to say the player we had, even though we both thought the other person had our player. So that was really interesting. That makes it a lot of fun. But yeah, no. If I ever did get to the point where I was like, I'm just not enjoying this enough, I've kind of done that before, where I've gone from Call of Duty to FIFA. Although I do agree it would be difficult to move from FIFA now, because I have got such a FIFA-based audience. But if that time came, I feel like not only would I be kind of wanting to move away from FIFA, but I feel like my audience would also be looking for something different at that point in time. I don't think it would just be me randomly saying I've had enough, sort of thing.
okay. But this is a question for myself, yeah. But when you do some a specific style of content, how do you, how do you make yourself come across relatable to people? Because do what I do. I think sometimes that people enjoy the interviews more than they enjoy hearing my own personal opinion.
Okay. So with the mixed content? To be honest with you, it is kind of it's a little bit, I guess, trial and error. But also, I wouldn't say that what I was doing when I do mixed stuff, it would have to be like a one-off kind of video, because I wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to now. I don't think I'd be able to now go back to just doing like my vlogs or anything like that, because I don't think people would have as much of an interest in me for that. Like me personally, people kind of will watch me for my series more than anything at the moment. I guess it's just, I don't know. I guess it would be if there's a one-off video that I do and somebody, maybe they'll find it interesting. Like if I put something up and they might think, oh, I'd like to know about that. That could be a reason behind it. But also, the last time I was like mixing up all the content, YouTube was a different place. This is about, it's got to be almost 8 years ago now. So 8 years ago,
Yeah.
it was a completely different landscape. I mean, everything about it was different. So things that worked then probably wouldn't work now for me. So it's the flat answer is I've got no idea, as I feel like most people on YouTube just have no idea.
Me, obviously, I can only speak for them. I can only speak for myself. But the reason why I started a podcast channel is so I can speak about whatever I want, and then if people enjoy a certain topic, I can figure it out, and I can do more based around that. Because for me, people people like hearing about my disability, and to most people they find it interesting.
Sure, no, absolutely. It's a good way to do it. If you find something that works and you work out what it is that people wanna be listening to, then absolutely go for it.
I've, I've wanted to ever since when you used to do videos with people like Joe Weller on the regular. So I'll be watching you for a long time.
Absolutely, me and Joe, man. Those some of those videos, I got the back end on a lot of those videos. That they're an awful lot of fun. They were so much fun to do. But yeah, I definitely drew the short straw in quite a few of those. Quite a few punishments I had to go through.
And that so in hindsight, do you wish you could do that video again? Not not with Joe specifically, but just that type of videos.
I mean, hey, listen, me and Joe still chat and everything. Obviously, it's been a pretty. It's not been the best of years for the whole world, right? So we haven't been able to stay in touch, but as like keeping in touch physically and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still still drop Joe a text from here from time to time. It's not like we've had a falling out or anything like that. Would still be up for it. Just definitely not as frequent because I mean some of the stuff I had to eat and some of the stuff I had to. I mean, I've eaten all sorts. I've eaten absolutely all sorts. I've had to eat. I've had to eat. I don't know if they're called. I basically had to eat lamb's testicles. I've had to eat a scorpion. I've had to eat a spider. All sorts of stuff that I wouldn't necessarily pick off of a menu. So I don't know if I'd like to do it as frequently. Don't know if my stomach can stomach it as well as it used to. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed those. I look back on those videos fondly.
Do you know that of your audience now? Obviously, you do majority of FIFA content, so I bet a large majority of the audience don't remember them days, do they?
Well, that's the thing. A lot of them wouldn't. But then also, I think a lot of people. Do get a lot of people going back to some of my older content and saying they'll see stuff that I filmed with, with Joe and with one of my friends, George or Roman. They'll be like, no way is this person. Like, this is crazy. Like, how did you guys all meet and all this stuff? It's interesting. But then with that on the flip side of that, people will say, I saw you in this video like from 6 years ago on Joe Weller's channel. What the hell's, what were you doing there and stuff? So it's interesting how a lot of people will remember it, but a lot of people have no idea that I even used to do that style of content. So that's always quite fun when people find that, go down that rabbit hole and find like an entire new pool of content.
So what gave you the initial idea to make content? Was it just the fact that you wanted to, or was there a specific reason why?
Well, I wanted to. Like I said earlier, I mean, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I used to think back when I was 20, when I was a young whippersnapper, I used to think I thought I was very good at Call of Duty. I really backed myself on Call of Duty. However, I obviously wasn't that good because the reason I started was actually I wanted to get a nuke and I couldn't get one. Nuke back on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It was like the highest kill streak you could get, ended the game for everybody, for anyone that doesn't know. And it was, if you got that, basically everyone thought you were like the best player in the lobby. So I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't work out how to get it. But that at the time, that was the first online game I'd ever played. I'd always played offline. Loved Call of Duty as a series, as a franchise. Absolutely loved it. Always played offline. Somebody actually got me on an Xbox 360 this little plug-in, so it could basically like a little Wi-Fi booster, so I could actually play online. I was like, this is great. Didn't have a clue how to do anything. So I watched a video from a channel called CNanners. It was the first YouTube video I'd ever watched. It was how to get a nuke. And I was watching it, and then at some point during the video, he said he was doing this for a job. I was like, that's kind of incredible. Like you're playing Call of Duty. I was like, that's just absolutely mad. So
what year was this? Was this like early days?
This has to be 2007, 8, 2000. No, sorry, I lied to you. It'll be 2009. It'll be 2009 because I saw that video, and that's when I was around. That's around the time I was at university or going to university, and my first year. So I bought all the equipment, set myself up, and didn't know how to edit a video. I didn't know how. I just bought everything. I was like, well, now what do I do? And I was trying to think, how do I edit? I don't have a clue. So for about 6 months, I'd had everything to record. I just couldn't actually edit the videos. So yeah, long story short, 6 months later, I worked out how to do it, and I started putting up some Call of Duty content. Basically, at that point, I realised very quickly that I was not one of the best Call of Duty players at all, and they were far better than me. But it was a lot of fun, and that was the thing. I kind of knew. I knew that people were making money from it. I didn't ever think I would be making money from it. But I mean, I think the dream, if you're starting to make content, the dream is always to think, oh, I'd love to be able to do this for a job. Not necessarily that's the reason you got into it, but there's always that thing of like, it could work out. Maybe you never know.
The way I look at it, for myself, yeah, I want to get paid for something that I'm good at. But obviously, I want to build up my catalog first.
Yeah.
So people can see I'm actually putting in the work, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So I think do remember back in the day, you played in some sort of FIFA tour.
I don't like how you're laughing at me before you've even finished this.
Let's be honest. You were carried.
I absolutely was. I played it was in the Yaush football tournament. That was pretty much the time that I transitioned entirely from, well, not entirely, but that was a transition moment from Call of Duty and challenges, because I'd filmed a challenge with it was a Chile challenge with Nepenthes, who obviously, you know, he's been in FIFA since FIFA's been a thing on YouTube, really.
Yeah.
He invited me into the tournament, and I did explain to him at the time, I was like, mate, I'm so bad at FIFA. It's not a game I'm great at. So I owe a lot to Net in that regard. And so yeah, he got me in. I was on a team with Scriptamone, JJ, and Cal Freezy. And yeah, I was useless, absolutely useless. However, I will say this: I think we went on to win the tournament, and I believe I scored a goal with Javinho, I think it was. And they were all, no one thought I was going to score. I remember so vividly. I did a roulette, knocked it past, and sunk it in. And you're absolutely right. I got carried to the flipping end, but we still won, and that's all that counts.
So you know the FIFA community at the moment. I mean, obviously, a lot of you guys are like personally linked, like you do a lot of content together.
Absolutely.
Is that by design, or do you just enjoy making content together?
No, it's not by design at all. So obviously, like I said, that's when I kind of transitioned into the FIFA stuff. I'd known Cal before, Cal Freezy. I mean, back in the day, myself, who are now the Cybermen, we all went out to like Alton Towers. We went on quite a few trips. There was a few others as well. So Nep was there. One of my friends, Toby or Tobias, he was there as well. Fearcrads, Allier, Syndicate. There was like a big group of us that went up. So I was aware of like a lot of people. Like everyone's like, you are friends. We are friends, and then it just happened to be people that do content with each other as well. And so like I lived with a lot of the people I do videos with now, like or not so much anymore. Like two of them, Rob, still great mates with Rob. We don't really do the same style of content anymore. Like he does a lot more. Still FIFA, but he does sniping and trading methods, etc., etc., which is obviously something that I don't necessarily do. But yeah, so Reeve, lived with him. That was actually fun story. So I actually got invited to move it. We've got invited to move to this house, and I hadn't met three of them before, or two. Yeah, so I'd met Andy once. That's AJ. I'd never met Reeve in person, and I'd never met Rob. So it was like they're like, oh, do you want to come look at this house? I was like, okay, we came down and looked at it. And 2 weeks later, we've moved in. And I was like, this is just, it's kind of crazy. But we lived together for 12 months at that house and a further 18 at another house with only 4 of us. So we all get along very well in person. There's nothing's put on or anything like that. It's all genuine friendships. I do think a lot of people see sometimes, like when we have like a little bit of an argument or whatever in a video, a lot of people seem to think that that's it. They hate each other. They're not really friends anymore. No more videos. But really, it's just friends having a disagreement, like in the same sense that people in other friendship groups have a disagreement. But it's just that we're recording it and it's funny.
Can, 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 I, can I go a bit further with the question? Because I don't think I explained my point.
Okay, sure.
So obviously you enjoy making content together, yeah. But what it like? We enjoy making content. We enjoy making content together anyway, and people seem to really enjoy it. So why not just do that, basically?
Yeah, I mean, at first, so originally, bottom line is we all do enjoy making content together. I wish that, well, when we were back at the house, we actually made a lot of videos together, as in like we'd be sat in the room. It wouldn't just necessarily be FIFA, it'd still be football based, like we might do, I don't know, top of my head, a video that we did, I think, was ranking where you think the teams in the Premier League are going to finish and stuff like that. That's so much fun. That I would love to get back to. Like I said, though, it's been incredibly difficult over the last 2 years to do any of that style of content. Would love to do some more of that. I guess what it is, I'd say you just kind of adapt to what you're able to do at any given time.
Would you say collabs are easier rather than doing content by yourself?
I'd say that for my series at least, I need somebody else now. For Guess Who, Rock Paper Stat, I can't do them against myself, obviously, because that would be a little bit one-sided. However, I'd say that it's easier to record like a pack opening, etc., etc. I don't necessarily know if people care so much for that style of content and as much anymore, at least for my channel. I think people would far prefer seeing me, having a little bit of banter with Andy or having a little bit of banter with Tom or Jack or whoever it may be, as opposed to me sat there just opening up packs. With that being said, there's some channels that do incredibly well from just being sat there opening up packs, and people don't necessarily like seeing collaborations with them so much. So it is literally, it's part and parcel. You just need to just see what your audience like, and you kind of go with the flow, I think.
Yeah, because I know for myself, obviously it's a bit different when you're interviewing, but I do like doing videos with other people, because it makes the video doesn't seem as drawing out. When you're doing videos by yourself, when you're just speaking to the camera, it can feel like, I've really been going for 40 minutes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know, dude. Honestly, I know that feeling. And yeah, it's a nicer experience all round, and I feel like it feels more genuine. When not necessarily more genuine, but you don't. It just kind of flows nicer. It flows easier when you've got somebody there to ask you another question. Like in this other format, effectively, what I do with like Guess Who and stuff, you're basically having a chit chat, then you play the game in between, then you have a chit chat, then you go to get like another round and stuff. It's very similar to almost like this. It's got a nice flow to it. Whereas if you're just doing packs, you feel like you have to fill time with certain stuff, and it's just In fact, I'll go back to it. I'd say collaborations are not only what people tend to want to see, but they're also what I'd probably prefer to record because of that interaction. Definitely.
Because I've tried doing podcasts by myself, and they're not bad. They're not bad, but they're just not as exciting as they are with other people, obviously.
Yeah, no, I understand that for sure. It's definitely good to have some back and forth, like having a laugh at me playing FIFA or whatever it may be. It's definitely yeah. I agree.
So in your early days, you included your brothers in your videos.
Yeah.
So did did you ever try and get them? Did you ever try and get them into making their own channel? Were they just like into it like you were?
Um, I don't know. I don't think they'd want to particularly. I think especially at that time because they were so young, they were still at school. Like Finley was really young, and Huey was, there's only a year difference in them, but I'm 6 years older than Huey. Um, so I think it was just more the fact that just at that time they were too young for it. YouTube can also be a pretty nasty place sometimes in terms, you know, you can get some pretty brutal people out there. So it just was more the fact I wouldn't want to, I just didn't want to expose them. So I mean, I know I put them into some videos, but I was able to kind of monitor the comments, etc., etc. If they were to make their own channels, but might not be able to do that quite so much. So just a series of factors. I think they'd both be very good on YouTube, to be totally honest with you. But it's just something that since then they just haven't really mentioned. To be fair.
That, so, so do you know how long? So obviously, when you first start YouTube, nobody like really confident. So how long did it take you to finally gain some confidence?
Um, the confidence. You know what? I don't think it was too bad. I would have been happy to go on camera pretty much straight away. Like I've seen all the comments I could possibly see throw at me now. I'm honestly, it's water off a duck's back. You can say whatever. I'm not gonna care. You've got to have a pretty thick skin, I think, to put yourself out there. I'd say honestly, actually, yeah, I don't know. I was quite not. I wouldn't say I was overconfident or anything, but I wasn't. I just didn't. I never thought of it as like. It took a while. Don't get me wrong. It took a while to like. You know, it's pretty bizarre, like talking to your bloody like a camera out in public or wherever it may be. But it wasn't something that I was necessarily like building up the confidence to do. I was quite ready and able to do it, if that makes sense. The only thing I would say is that it was a little bit strange at first, like if I did like a vlog and other people walking past me thinking, what on earth is this chap up to? he's got an SLR and a stick. What's he talking about? Maybe that took a tiny little bit of time. But you just kind of do it, really. You just kind of get on with it.
I know even myself. Sometimes I can start speaking and then all of a sudden I can start thinking of it as I'm speaking. I can start thinking, are people going to enjoy this? Are people going to care? And then that can take me off my stride quite
Yep.
a lot.
I know, I understand that for sure. You know what? I think you just need to go for it. I think you need to just go for it. And like we were saying earlier, hey, listen, people are going to pick and choose what they enjoy and don't enjoy. If you're enjoying what you're saying and what you're talking about, end of the day, it doesn't matter if there's, you know, one person or 10,000 people or 100,000 people that do enjoy it. As long as you're putting it out and you're enjoying what you're saying, doesn't matter. The end result, that's not. I mean, it's very cheesy, but it's the journey, not the destination, right? So as long as you're having fun doing the content that you're putting out, I don't think you should be stressed about that.
Yeah. So, do you like? Do you watch movies at all? If you do, what movies do you like?
Oh, that I love it. Absolutely love films. Always have, always absolutely have. The thing is, I'm not. It's terrible, but I love films. However, I don't particularly enjoy the films that other people would probably rate as the highest. So, for example, you know, ones that have got like, I guess I'm just a classic. I like action. Listen, I'm trying to work out how to say this and not make myself seem like the most uncultured person going. But I could enjoy it. So I love Lord of the Rings. Absolutely love it. I love James Bond. I love, action. The Bourne. I'd have to probably put the Bourne saga up there. Probably one of my favorite set of films because I feel like it kind of had a little bit of everything. I really enjoyed like Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, The Gentleman, also a great film. But if I could only pick one series or film or like saga or whatever it may be, it'd have to be The Bourne. I didn't particularly enjoy Jason Bourne. I thought that was probably one of the worst ones that they made. But I still, the whole load of them were just incredible, absolutely incredible.
So basically, when it comes to movies, when it comes to movies, you're not a basic bitch, basically.
Yeah, I mean the only it's just I'm trying to, you know what the problem is, I couldn't even tell. Okay, so something like The Life of Pi, I've never watched it because I just don't think I'd enjoy it particularly, because I need something to go on. I like the Bourne series. What I really like is like the kind of espionage mixed in with some, like, there's certain scenes of action, but it's not action throughout. It's like, it's nice little bits. But with that said, I could then go on to watch something, We Were Soldiers with Mel Gibson. Absolutely love that. I just love that style of film so much. And then you can get me watching, I don't know, I literally don't know anything. I'm just down for any sort of film you could throw my way. Doesn't
So,
have to be action.
so do you like Marvel movies or not really?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think I've watched every single Marvel film. I think Thor Ragnarok's probably up there with one of my favorite Marvel films. I can't wait for the next Thor. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
I, I'm looking forward to the next Spider-Man, to be honest, where it's taking place over 3 different timelines,
Yeah,
apparently.
absolutely. That's going to be awesome. I love Marvel. I think they're absolutely incredible. Yeah, hook, line, and sinker since Iron Man came out. Absolutely loved it. I feel like Avengers, Endgame and Infinity War and Endgame were just so good. I just loved how you kind of didn't see a lot of stuff coming. I mean, I don't want to do any spoilers or anything. I mean, the film's been out for a while, so I'm sure everyone's seen it already. But I loved how in Endgame, Thanos, you'd expect him to be quite an integral part of that film, even though he was, I guess, but within 20 minutes, bang, Thor's just taken his head off. Do you know what I mean? So it was just incredible, absolutely incredible.
Would you like to write your own? Would you like to write your own film? Or...
I don't think I'd be very good, if I'm being totally honest with you. I don't think I'd be very good at it. This is actually a true story. Probably shouldn't say this actually, but I had some, let's call it homework. Let's say it was homework back in the day. And it was to basically write a story, creative writing story. And I ended up writing about the Bourne Identity, which is the first Bourne film. So this was back when I was at school. I basically just rewrote what had already come out as a film. Lucky enough, my teacher hadn't seen the film because, I managed to get a B on it, which was pretty good. Yeah, my creative writing I don't think it'd be the best.
To be honest, yeah, I would love to do it. I would love to at least give it a go at least.
Listen, well, if you think you've got I just haven't got the mindset for it. My stories would end up being probably borderline plagiaristic. It would probably be a mixture of so many different other films, trying to rehash them all together as my own work, which would just be wrong.
because I'll probably say this, but when I when I was at school, I used to come up with loads of stories to try and Sky. So
hey, listen, I think it's fine. I've just admitted to how I called it homework, though. But yeah, I mean, I just basically expose myself for rewriting the Bourne Identity as a bit of homework.
I forgot one of the most important questions. How did you come up with the name Oakelfish?
Oakelfish. Okay, so it was actually a joke. It was actually as a bit of a joke. So we had like a group of friends, and this was like when we were a lot younger, maybe, I don't know, 14, 15, 16. And there was another kind of group of people that were, I guess they were trying to be like a cool gang, like a gang, I guess you could say. But obviously 14, 15 years old. So as like a joke, we called ourselves the Fish Gang. With absolutely no intention of being any sort of gang whatsoever. So yeah, we called ourselves the Fish Gang. And so Oakley, obviously my first name, so I just took Oak. And then we took L for the in Spanish. So Oak the Fish, Oakelfish as one word. And then I had another friend that was called Hazelfish, so Harry the Fish, etc., etc. And I came to making my YouTube account because then you had to make up an account to be able to watch certain videos, etc., etc. I was like, well, what do I call my name? I was like, oh, Oakelfish. Because at this point in time as well, I had no intention of making content at all. I just wanted to watch some videos. So yeah, put it in as Oakelfish, and yeah, the rest is history.
To be honest, I was expecting the wild stories.
Sorry, I'm sorry to disappoint.
but, obviously, as you said earlier, like, you didn't live with Andy AJ3, whatever you want to call him. So obviously, you've done quite feel the showdown a lot of times.
Yeah.
So why do you think people like that series so much?
I think they like the fact that there's some serious discards in that series. I think they like the guessing element. It's like two different series in one. You've got the guessing element, and then of course you have the actual gameplay, and then after that you've got the discards. So it's almost like a culmination of three things that people really enjoy. They love the guessing, and they pretty much love the discards. I don't think the gameplay plays as much of a factor. It's just more they want to see some discards.
To be honest with you, the reason why I like it is because I like the banter between the two people on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Normally throw my way on that series. Normally throw my way. Yeah, I get absolutely bantered to the end. Bantered to the absolute end.
You did get slated for your performance in that series. I think you have one of the worst records.
I absolutely do. I absolutely do. I absolutely have the worst record. Andy knows that as well, and he still chooses to play some of his best players only against me, the absolute coward. One day, Anthony, I will get him. One day I'll get him and I'll beat him very severely, and he'll discard the lot. And then we'll see the stats come back. Then we'll see the stats coming back.
You know the official Twitter account for that series?
I am well aware. I am well aware of it.
I've got a feeling that you just
it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, no, the Twitter account they've given me a few sleepless nights. That's for sure. They absolutely throw me under the bus at any opportunity. Yeah, one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made on YouTube playing that bloody 6 games against Andy and then becoming a regular, because now I'm just on the list every time at the bottom, holding everybody else up. It's fine. I make them look good. It's all good. I don't mind. If that's my role, I'll take it.
Like, well, at least now you've got a look out for your series.
Absolutely, and if you look at the statistics on that, when they come over to my park, it's not so good, is it? They're not laughing so much then.
I personally think it's one of the best series on YouTube, and as we said earlier, it got a long line of longevity because the people that are participating in it for the most part have good chemistry together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is the chemistry that makes any series really on YouTube, I think.
And you know people say you can't build a channel off clouds. That just shows that you can't, because let's be honest, and he doesn't really do much content apart from that.
Yeah, I mean, he does, he doesn't. I think he does like a few. It's just when there's an opportunity to do solo stuff, he will. Like if he does like a save, I mean, I guess it's not actually on his own really, because we'll do like a save the icon pack, etc., etc. But yeah, I mean, you look at most channels, they've got like a hub series, like a home series, and that's what most of the content is. And that's what people come back for, I guess.
Yeah, so I do like Andy because
he's a top bloke.
Because I think you got the band of it. You can also deliver on the video side.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you know people like Captain Tommy? Why do you think he stand out to people?
He stands out. Well, Tom's been in the game for a very long time. He also did a lot of pack openings and stuff, and he's got a really good series now in Team Takedown, which people really enjoy. Really enjoy.
So, would you say to build a channel, it's important to have a series of content that you can do multiple times?
Sorry, say that again.
You know, when you're like building a channel,
Yep.
So would you say it's important to have either a series or like a set of video that people constantly want to come back for?
Um, I think it depends. I think it depends. Like I said, there's some channels that will just do like a certain series, a lot, and that's what people get success from. But then also you get people that have very successful channels from doing pack openings. Some people have. You look at Danny Aaron's, for example. He does like a wide array of different things. None of them tend to be. They're all kind of foot champs based, I guess. But they're all different in their own way. I think it's just feeling the market and seeing what people are kind of looking for, I guess, or looking for from you. I don't think there's a flat answer. I think it's just YouTube shifts and morphs and changes so much all the time that answering that question now, if the answer is yes, in 2 years' time it could be absolutely not. You just never know. You just never know with YouTube.
It's, as you just said, it's important to evolve with the time, not only in YouTube but also in life as well.
Yeah,
Like obviously life was a lot different even 5 years ago
absolutely.
to as it is now. So if you don't evolve, you're gonna look out of touch.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
So in terms of like in terms of like when you're not recording, how do you spend your day if you want to review that or not?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I love golf. I absolutely love my golf. So recently, that's what I've been doing a lot of, playing golf either on the course or at the driving range. Trying to slowly get back into the gym. However, that's affecting my golf. So I'm not. Everything basically revolves around golf at the moment. But no, I try to get to the gym at least twice a week to like a certain type of class I do. It's like a high intensity class. Then yeah, try to get on the golf course a couple of times a week as well as possible. And I like to go to the cinema when I can. I love cinema popcorn. Salted popcorn is one of my favorite things on the planet. So I'll eat that. I could eat a bag of popcorn a day quite comfortably.
Uh,
But cinema's the best.
like going back to go, what is your average? I
What?
gotta, I gotta. So the reason why I laugh is because I can't imagine you playing go.
Oh, you can't imagine me playing golf. No, I'm actually okay, to be honest. I'm okay. I've got a lot better over recently because during lockdown, I was just watching so many golf videos. So that's the sort of stuff I watch. A lot of people ask that actually, like, what do you watch on YouTube? I watch a hell of a lot of golf content, um, several different channels. I absolutely love it. I watch it before I go to bed, and I just love seeing how people improve. It's a sport that I've always enjoyed. Tiger Woods was the guy that the main man still is, in my opinion, when I was growing up. So yeah, just been watching a load of different swings, and because of watching that, I've tried to implement it. Nowhere near as well, but I try to implement it the best as I can. And since we had lockdown, I wasn't able to do it. When we come out of lockdown, I've just spent a lot of my time doing that, really. So yeah, golf would be. I'm okay. I'm playing off 17 now, whereas basically that's like in the system. I basically hope to finish 17 shots over, or have 17 shots given to me. It's very complicated if you don't really like golf that much, but basically it's all right. It's all right. Last year I was playing off 26, so I've managed to cut 9 shots off, which I'm very happy with.
Have you ever thought about making a goal? Channel it. Just so you
if
can, just so you can have it or laugh.
if you know what, honestly, if I were better, I would. I absolutely would. I think there's so many people out. I mean, golf YouTube is one of the areas on YouTube where I feel like it's growing exponentially at the moment because of the fact that it never used to really have that much traction. The reason why I feel like it is getting a lot more traction recently is due to lockdown. People want to see this stuff. People want to do, there's a lot of people that were off work or, whatever it may be, who were then, sat inside watching golf content because why not? And they then had the time to do it. If I was better, if I got down to single handicap figures, then I would do it. Yeah. So if I was playing off like nine or below, yeah, I'll be up for that for sure.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I think having a channel that's not really amazing at goal, but obviously still learning and still trying to improve. would be quite interesting to people.
That's actually true. It's actually true. Maybe. Hey, listen, you never ever say never. You might have just inspired me to go out and do it, to be totally honest with you. Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
And plus, people could follow your story. And yeah, if you could reach out to people that are called, maybe you can do a bit of a collaboration.
Yeah.
There.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, never say never. I might actually look into it. The thing is, though, the only problem would be that I'd have to get somebody. I'd have to get a license out for a swear word beeper, for a sensor buzzer, because there's a lot of foul language, out on the golf course.
So I get one of them people. You know when you play. Sorry, you know when you play. Do you actually play to win, or do you just play for the laugh?
No, I play to win. No. I'm playing to win, 100%. The problem is, though, that I don't win a lot. So play to win, but don't win very often, which is very frustrating.
You do that quite a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I'm used to it. I'm used to it, that's for sure.
I really FIFA and go.
I'd back myself at golf. I would back myself at golf over FIFA. That's something I'd say.
Would you play any sport like football or anything like that?
No, I never really did. Honestly, the only 11-a-side football match I've ever played was at Wembley Stadium for the Wembley Cup. That was back in season 1, 2015. I was there. I was the starting right back in the first ever series. That was my 11-a-side debut. I think, pardon me, I was the only person in the world. I am the only person in the world to ever have debuted at Wembley and retired the same day. I don't know if there's a fact checker out there that can check that fact, but I'm almost 100% sure that would be true.
You've got some really good life goals, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was completely unintentional. So it's a big up to Spencer for getting me involved in that, for sure.
Was you that at the highlight of your career, so to speak, being involved in the?
Yeah, I mean, I can't lie. That was really special. Although there weren't fans in there because it was the first season, they weren't sure how it was going to go. To be offered that opportunity was just absolutely incredible. I try not to say no to any opportunity unless it's for something or with a company that I just don't think it would work. I try to say yes to everything just because it's worth the experience.
So in terms of like football, were you ever good enough to at that level, or did you just bang out reach and you must have played it growing up?
I was just never very good at football. I was just never very good at it. It was I was good at solo sports. I was really good at pool. I mean sports, yeah, but pool, running. I was very good at cross country. I used to run for my county. For cross country, I was pretty good at. I used to play tennis, swimming. I did used to do sports. It just wasn't just football. Didn't happen to be one of them. I played rugby. I went horse riding. I did all sorts when I was younger. But yeah, football just wasn't one of them.
Were you the type of person that needed encouragement to do sport, or were you just?
No, it was just always.
I want to do that. I want to do that.
Yeah, it was just always something that every one of my days, in my evenings when I was a child, except from one, I was doing something. I was doing tennis, rugby, swimming, horse riding. I was a member of the Scouts as well, or running. So it was
I went as well.
Yeah.
I didn't really like Scouts. I thought you was boring, to be honest.
Oh, actually, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I love camp. That's another thing I watch a lot on YouTube. Is camping. Watch a lot of camping videos. I just find it so therapeutic. The sound of the rain hitting the tent and stuff like that. It's just wonderful. And so, just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. 1 second. No, I don't want to be sniffling on the video for you.
Yeah, no worries, mate. You're a lot more professional than me.
No, I just wanted to. I didn't want to blow my nose. Sorry, I do apologise, everybody.
Okay.
But yeah, no, absolutely. So that was just my parents. I was just in some sort of club, be it after school or. I think, to be honest with you, it's because they had to work later and they just want me to be somewhere, be doing something rather than having to come and get me.
In school, were you academically quite smart, or were you just like a bang average student?
I'd actually say, to be honest with you, when I was actually at school, I was probably below average, to be honest. I was dyslexic, so I wasn't in like the top. I was in fact, I've always been in the bottom sets for everything. I wouldn't say I underachieved when I actually came down to it. I was lucky to go to a pretty good school, so they got the best out of me. But after getting my GCSEs, I then started really knuckling down and focusing a lot more. I think it was focus mixed with probably naivety that I didn't think they would be as hard as they actually were. But so yeah, definitely applied myself more throughout the years after GCSE, A levels, and got my degree. But when I got my degree, obviously, I then went into doing YouTube full time. So yeah, it's no regrets looking back at it. I tried my best, and that's not to say I didn't try. I was trying 100%. I just didn't at the time GCSEs. I didn't think they'd be as hard as they were.
Uh, I, 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 I can sort of relate to that because when I was at school, yeah, and I could have tried a lot harder, but one of my problems was I had a lot of health problems
Yeah.
towards the end of school, and to be honest with you, in secondary school, I didn't take it that seriously. And in hindsight, I probably could have done.
Yeah, no, it's one of these things. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't take it seriously. It was just more the fact that it's just a lot when you're younger. You're just naive. You just kind of. I guess there's a mixture of also can't be bothered with some things. If you don't enjoy a certain subject, you're just not going to apply yourself as much. I think most people could probably say, looking back on it in hindsight, they'd wish they could try harder or do something better, especially from an academic standpoint. But it is what it is, and I think just best not to dwell on it.
I and also yeah, when I did when I did when I did care, I used to stress myself out quite a lot over stupid things that in
Yeah,
hindsight probably I don't want to say that don't matter, but it's not the end of the world.
absolutely. No, I agree. I completely agree with you. Absolutely. I feel like it's a mixture. Yeah, it's a mixture of not thinking the exams are going to be as hard as they are, having your first exam, and then getting so stressed out about, oh my gosh, if I don't do well here, then I've really messed up. When in as a matter of fact, I think there's a lot of pressure. There's an awful lot of pressure. But I think it's finding the balance. I think it's finding a healthy balance.
Because I don't want to say to people, I don't want to say to people, they don't matter, don't take them seriously, because they obviously do matter depending on what you want to do with your life, obviously, depending depending on your depending on your goals. Sometimes not the be all and end all. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. There's always, hey, look, it's never as bad as you think it is. That's probably what I'd say.
When it comes to YouTube, yeah, obviously I don't know how old you are, but I'm 25, so I haven't been to school in a long, long time. So, do you think do you think YouTube and creating content should be taught as a subject?
It's a difficult one. I think there definitely should be an option. Maybe not necessarily just for YouTube, but we had ICT as a subject at school,
Yeah,
but that didn't really teach me anything that was of value to me now. They taught me how to use Excel. However, I don't know how to use Excel now. They taught me how to open up a Word document and use that sort of stuff. There wasn't anything that really. They taught me how to use a computer. They didn't actually teach me any like proper skills with it. No more that I could learn. I could probably learn more. This isn't disrespectful because obviously back then it was a completely different time, so there wasn't as much you could probably do. But I could probably learn the stuff I learned then on YouTube now in a week. Do you know what I mean? Like I could do a crash course on it. It's just the basics. So there should be, I think there should be like a more, there probably is. I mean, I'm saying this now, I've left school over 10 years ago. So the stuff I'm saying now, I'm probably not qualified. I'm probably winding up a lot of teachers watching right now by saying this. So no disrespect whatsoever. I'm just saying from my experience, it would have been nice if now they kind of, taught you how to, I don't know, do basic coding. I think that'd be highly, highly valuable for anybody. And I'm sure they do some sort of add-on classes for that. But yeah, teaching YouTube, I think in a way, that's what school kind of does. They kind of teach you to have the confidence to be able to do that sort of stuff. I think, maybe do like a little class, half a term of, crash course on how to upload and make content would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Because what I was thinking is how to teach people. I not really had, I'm gonna say how to deal with just the online world and how it works because back when we were in school, we never really got taught how to deal with people.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I feel like it's probably something. Again, this is probably one of these things that back then, when I was at school, at least, the internet wasn't like we had an MSN. So the people you're talking to on MSN, I mean, I'm really making myself sound old here now, but we had MSN, and so it wasn't really something that you needed teaching about. However, obviously, the way things are going now, I'd be very surprised if schools aren't giving some sort of at least. Like a I don't know what you call them. I think we called them PGE meetings, like where you have like an evening after school and they get some people in to teach you about, safety online, et cetera, et cetera. I'd be very surprised they're not doing that because of, online. There's so much wrong with the internet. There's so many beautiful things on the internet. There's so much dodgy stuff out there that I'd be very surprised if they weren't doing those classes now. Because it's a necessity, really.
But I was thinking it more from the standpoint that you could teach these young people that you can't say whatever you want on social media because it does have even if it doesn't have legal ramifications, it can have effect on people's mental health.
Oh, absolutely. I'd hope so. But also, you know what I'd hope more is I'd hope that more parents were taking that into consideration. I feel like definitely needs to be. I feel like absolutely the school should be doing it. I feel like it also needs to be taught and ingrained into people's character from their upbringing. I feel like their parents. I feel like it's definitely a parental. It's just an obligation of the parents. It's something that you should be bringing up your children to be good people and to be nice people.
Yeah, not just say things behind the keyboard that you wouldn't say to people's faces.
Absolutely.
So what are your main goals for the future? Outside of YouTube or on YouTube?
It's just honestly, mate, it's going to be such a cliche answer, but honestly, and it's probably going to be a lot of people say, "Oh, that's such a." I just want honestly, I'll be happy being happy. Would love to be, in the YouTube scene for as long as I can. Like we were saying earlier, YouTube is constantly evolving. There might be something else that comes out, but for the foreseeable future, keep doing what I'm doing on YouTube, and yeah, be happy. Some point, have a family. Maybe a couple of kids would be very nice, but yeah, for now, focusing on YouTube and just trying to be happy.
When it comes to reading comments on your videos,
yeah,
do you actually read them at this point or not really?
I read and reply to every comment I can within the first hour. I'll make the time to do that because I feel like it's important that people that are there first on your videos. And because you do start to see a lot of the same names. As much as I don't know who these people are by actual name because they'll have a YouTube channel name.
Yeah.
When you see a lot of people coming back, I feel it's the least I can do is to respond to somebody that's supporting me that quickly. So I'll try my absolute best to do that. And then obviously, you know, a day or two later, I'll still reply to the odd comment here or there, but I try my absolute best to get there for the first hour. But yeah, so I do. Bottom line answer, I read the comments. But obviously you don't see every single comment. It's just not possible.
Like my problem is, I try because I've only got a relatively small channel compared to yours, so I try to respond to everybody, but sometimes I do miss people out, and I feel quite bad because I don't want them to feel like they're giving me support. And if I don't respond, I don't care, because that's not the case.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think people understand that though. I think people understand that you get back to as many people as you possibly can, and yeah. I mean, you get back to as many people as you can, and that's that, isn't it? Really.
So have you got any content coming up that the people can go and watch?
Any content coming up that people can watch? Well, hopefully today I'm going to have some more stuff involving some icons that I've been saving up this pack for a while. So that should be a lot of fun. It's actually going to be with Andy. I just need to get a hold of him. And then after that, it's team of the season. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of pack videos coming out. I'm going to try to get a few more guests in as well. We've probably got about 2, maybe 3 more weeks, I think, of team of the season. Then we're obviously going to transition into the Euros. So it's just going to be a lot of, hopefully, football content coming up. Mixture of real life content and, of course, FIFA content. So, yeah, bring it on. Can't wait.
When it comes to FIFA, I can't really play it because my hands don't really work like that. I enjoy watching you guys play the game. Well, not really play the game, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like be on the game. Cause I can live virtually through you guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, you're not watching me for the gameplay, that's for sure. That's absolutely for sure. But yeah, no, it should be a lot of fun. And that's the thing, I actually enjoy watching the videos that I make. Doesn't necessarily have to be me in them all the time, but I like seeing the pack stuff because I just enjoy watching that stuff. It's just what I enjoy watching on FIFA. You've heard what I enjoy watching. I like watching golf, I like watching camping videos, and I like watching people open up packs online. I mean, I've just got such a bizarre array of things I enjoy watching, but that's the beautiful thing about YouTube. There's something there for everyone.
You know the people that do the YouTube algorithm here. If they look at your YouTube,
they'll think, what on earth's going on here? I think, what on earth's going on here? What's he up to?
in terms of my YouTube algorithm, I'm a really obvious person to work out, to be honest. Once I like something, I very rarely deviate from what I like. So yeah. I watch God Build the Showdown probably like every other day, and sometimes I want to say, if you don't, even though I already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I hear that. I get that.
So, thank you for coming on, Oakley. I want to be respectful of your time, so thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me on. I've had a lot of fun here, and yeah, thank you very much for. Hey, listen, thank you very much for. I hope now that when you see me on Squad Builder Showdown, you'll be the one person there that's saying Oakley's great. So, yeah, thank you very much for having me on. Appreciate it.
I'll be the only person cheering you on. And so, do you want to promote your socials before you go?
Absolutely, guys. You can check me out at youtube.com/Oakelfish, on Twitter, Oakelfish, or on Instagram, it is Oakel. You can check out my Facebook if you want to see some live streams, which is Oakel IG.
Before we go, why did you use Facebook over Twitch?
Facebook, it's it's a brand, obviously, well, not brand new now, but it's a bigger. Twitch is obviously the biggest one. It's been around for ages. You've got so many people on there, some very big fish in a very big pond. Facebook was smaller. I'm a fish. I'm a smaller fish. Smaller fish has fallen upon.
Okay,
Hopefully more growth.
I was gonna say with that interview fun, but obviously it was.
Yeah, pardon the pun. But yeah, no, it's like I said, it's a newer platform, a lot more scope, in my opinion, for growth. Obviously, got a lot more friends on there again, like similar to why I got into FIFA. Got a lot more friends on there, so it's easier to collaborate and easier to grow.
Yeah. So, sorry, that sounded really disinterested. Yeah. I mean, thank you for coming on. Oakley, have a good day, and thank you, I guess.
Thank you very much for having me. I'll
I
speak to
did,
you all soon.
I did, I have got a personal question, but I'll ask you off camera, 'cause I don't want you to feel obligated to say yes.
Okay, all right.